To you all. Sorry for the delay. 5 minutes. Some some problem in my PC came. Okay. So we'll extend the class 5 minutes more. Fine. Okay. So what we have discussed in the last class? Okay. Good morning. So what we have discussed in the last class? I think I told you about relative position. Yes or no? Okay. Relative velocity. I told you. Okay. So I think did we this did we this did we have done this problem or not? We have two objects A, okay, and B. Fine. A is moving on the right side with the speed of 10 meter per second. B is moving on the left side with the speed of 5 meter per second. Can you find the velocity of A with respect to B? And second, velocity of B with respect to A. A is moving with 10 meter per second and B is moving 5 meter per second. But directions are different, okay? B is moving on the left side and A is moving on the right side. Okay, we will discuss NCRT problem, okay? In last half an hour, we'll discuss. Okay, 15. So let me complete because this is there in your syllabus now, in your weekly test. So let me complete this, then we'll discuss in half an hour, last half an hour, NCRT problems. Okay, so what is velocity of A with respect to B? Is basically velocity of A minus velocity of B with respect to ground. Okay, fine. So if I take right as positive, then velocity of A is how much? 10. Velocity of B is what? Minus of minus 5, which means it will come as how much? 15 meter per second. That is velocity of A with respect to B. Similarly, the velocity of B with respect to A will be equal to how much? Velocity of B with respect to ground minus velocity of A with respect to ground. So velocity of B with respect to ground is minus 5 minus of 10 means minus 5, 15 meter per second. Okay. Now, can you explain me what do you understand by 15 meter per second here? Velocity of A with respect to B. What does it mean? It means that the observer is at B and observing A. So with what speed this A is approaching B? That is 15 meter per second. In the positive side, just think if you are the observer at B, what you will think? You will think that this A is moving towards you or it is moving on the right side with the speed of how much? 15 meter per second. Correct now? Now, if you are the observer at A, means this part. If you are the observer at A, what you will observe? You will observe that B is moving towards you or in the negative direction with the speed of 15 meter per second. That is what relative velocity means. Means if you change this frame, you will the velocity will also change. Okay, that is known as relative velocity. Fine. I hope you understand this point. Yes or no? For an observer at A, what he will feel? He will feel that the B is moving on the left side with the speed of 15 meter per second. Her distance will decrease. Yes, that is fine. See, velocity will remain means if you think A with respect to B, what I am telling you that if the observer is at A, what he will feel about B? He will feel that the B is moving towards him or on the left side with the speed of 15 meter per second. That is what this observer will feel now, this A observer. Similarly, for this B observer, what he will feel? He will feel that A object is moving on the right side with the speed of 15 meter per second. Distance will decrease. That is obvious. Distance will decrease. I'm not telling you about the distance. I'm just telling about the velocity. What the observer will feel. when he is observing from B point or when he is observing from A point. Okay, fine. Now I told you one point or not that I told you that point that that this distance, this distance, displacement, displacement, velocity, and acceleration. They depends upon frame, depends upon frame, and the time and distance between the two objects, between two objects are independent of the frame. Can you explain me this point? That distance, displacement, velocity, they depends upon the frame, but time and distance between the two objects is independent of the frame. Is this statement which I have written is correct or not? I hope you understand what is frame. Like car is a frame, moving frame. Ground is a stationary frame. Okay, fine. So whatever what point I have written, is that correct point or not? Position will change with respect to frame. Okay. Okay, I'll give you one example here. In one example, you will understand these two lines. Okay. See, fine. So what I told you that distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, they depends upon the frame. But time does not depend upon the frame. Yes. See, very good example I'm giving you. Just think. A truck is there. Okay. A truck is there. Okay. A truck is there that is moving on a road. Okay. A truck is moving on the road. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now one observer is on the ground, other observer is on the truck. Okay. We have set some object A. Okay. The truck is moving with an speed of 3 meter per second. Okay. Now can you tell me after 1 second? Okay. Fine. 3 meter per second on the right side. This is the observer. Okay. Observer on the ground, let us say C, and observer on the truck is B. Now you tell me after 1 second, what is the displacement of the truck? After 1 second, what is the displacement of the truck? 3 meter, very good. 3 meter. So what you are telling is correct. That is 3 meter. Okay. So if a truck displacement is 3 meter, what is the displacement of object A? Displacement of A will be how much? Because truck will move on, the object will move around along with the truck. That will be 3 meter. But 3 meter with respect to what? B or C? 3 meter with respect to what? B or C? With respect to C. Very good. For C, the body has been displaced by 3 meter. But for B, how much displacement is there? 0. For B, it is stationary. Na? For B, it is not moving. For C, it is moving. Which means if we change the frame, means if the observer is on the different frame, then displacement depends upon the frame. Okay, so for the observer at C, what he will find? He will find displacement is 3 meter. For the observer B, displacement is 0 meter. Okay, so if we have changed the frame, the displacement is changed. Now, what about velocity? What is the velocity of A with respect to B? Velocity of A with respect to B? 0, because the body is not moving. And what is the velocity of C, A with respect to C? A with respect to C, 3 meter per second. Very good. Okay, fine. Similarly, in this case only, if I tell you the acceleration of this truck is 1 meter per second square, then what is the acceleration of A with respect to B? 0. And the acceleration of A with respect to C? 1 meter per second square. So from here, what we can say that distance, displacement, velocity, acceleration, they all depend upon frame. But now, now what is not this time? Now just tell me, if I ask you what is the displacement after 1 second, so 1 second will be same for this C also and for B also. It is not that 1 second will change there. So time will be same for both the observer, that is B and C. Okay, so time is same. So is the time depends upon the frame? No, because time for both the object will remain same. For both the observer remain same. So time is independent of the frame. Second thing, distance between the two objects. Distance between the two objects. Let us suppose the distance between this object and observer is say x meter. Now will this x meter changes? For observer C, this x will change. No. For observer B, this x will change. No. So distance between the two objects will not change. It's independent of the frame. Time is independent of the frame. But velocity, displacement, distance, uh, acceleration, that all depend upon the frame. Okay, that is the important point. As per your JE, they can ask you some assertion reason type that distance displacement depends upon frame or not. Like this, they can ask you. Okay, fine. I hope you understand this point with the help of this example. Any doubt? Okay, fine. Now next is, I think relative velocity I told you. Next term is relative acceleration. Relative acceleration. Relative acceleration. Okay. Before relative acceleration, I want you to give one answer. Okay. Fine. Let us suppose we have a train. Okay. Let us suppose we have a train like this. Okay. In train, we have two observers. One person A is sitting on the train. He is not moving. Okay. Other person B is moving with the speed of 2 meter per second with respect to train. Train is moving with the speed of say 20 meter per second, and observe and a person on a platform is running towards the train with the speed of 25 meter per second. Let us suppose this is C person. Okay. Now can you tell me what is the velocity of B with respect to C? Did you understand the question or not? Yes or no? C is moving with the speed of 25 meter per second. Okay. A person B is moving 2 meter per second with respect to train on this side, right side. The train is moving on the right side with the speed of 20 meter per second. What is the velocity of B with respect to C? Can you get the answer for this? A is sitting, A is not moving. A is means in the train he is sitting in some chair or something like this. Okay. He is not moving. B is moving inside the train with the speed of 2 meter per second. C is on the platform and is moving towards the train with the speed of 25 meter per second. So what is the velocity of B with respect to C? Minus 3 meter per second. Okay, fine. So how we have to solve this problem? See, let us suppose for the B, what is B, what velocity B is given? B is the 2 meter per second with respect to train. So what we have to write? The velocity of B with respect to train must be equal to velocity of B with respect to ground minus velocity of train with respect to ground. Correct now? Okay. So velocity of B with respect to train is velocity of B with respect to ground minus velocity of train with respect to ground. We need to take some reference point. Here the ground is the reference point which we are taking. Okay. So velocity of B with respect to train is 2 meter per second on the right side. So we can say 2 equal to velocity of B with respect to ground we don't know. Velocity of train with respect to ground we know, that is 20. So we are getting that velocity of B with respect to ground as 22 meter per second. Okay, which means the speed of the B with respect to ground is how much? 22 meter per second. Now what we need to find? We need to find velocity of B with respect to C. So velocity of B with respect to C is equal to velocity of B with respect to ground minus velocity of C with respect to ground, because we have to take one reference frame. Reference frame is the ground for both train as well as the person on the platform. Okay, so it should be what, 22 minus 25 means minus 3 meter per second square. So what C will observe? C will observe that B is moving towards him with the speed of 3 meter per second. That is what Y minus came. That that B is moving towards C with the speed of minus 3 meter per second. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, it should be minus 3 meter per second square. Now what is the velocity of A with respect to B? Can you tell me? Velocity of A with respect to B. See, velocity of velocity of A with respect to train is 0. Correct now. Velocity of A with respect to train is 0. So what is the velocity of A with respect to train? That is velocity of A with respect to ground minus velocity of train with respect to ground. That is how much? 0 equal to velocity of A with respect to ground minus velocity of train, that is 20, means velocity of A with respect to ground is 20 meter per second. Correct now? Fine. The velocity of A with respect to ground is 20 meter per second. Okay. So velocity of A with respect to ground minus velocity of B with respect to ground, that is 20 minus 20 minus 22, means minus 2 meter per second is the answer. Okay. So minus 2 meter per second is the answer. So for the observer at B, what he will observe? He will observe that this A is moving towards him with the speed of 2 meter per second. Okay, so I think you understood what how to find the relative velocity in one dimension. Okay, I hope you are getting some idea of this. Okay, now next is relative acceleration. Okay, now same as relative velocity, we have relative acceleration also. Like a very good example, simple example I will take. Only one example I will take. That we have an object A and object B. The object A is moving with the speed of 2 meter per second square on the right side, and B is moving with 4 meter per second on the left side. Can you find the velocity of A with respect to B? Can you find the velocity of A with respect to B? Hmm. Sorry, not velocity. Acceleration of A with respect to B. Sorry. Acceleration of A with respect to B. Okay. So that would be equal to how much? Acceleration of A with respect to ground minus acceleration of B with respect to ground. That is 2 minus 4 means minus 2 meter per second square. Okay, minus 2 meter per second square. When we observe from which point? B. B is the observer here. For observer B, what he will feel? He will feel that this A is moving away from him with the speed of 2 meter per second square. 2 meter per second square. Okay, that is what it means, minus 2. Okay. Sorry. It is wait. Sorry, mistake. I have done a mistake. Wait. Acceleration of A with respect to ground is 2 minus or minus 4 because this is negative. So it will come as 6 meter per second square. Which means for the observer at B, what he will feel? He will feel that A is moving towards him with the speed of 6 meter per second square. Okay, fine. Okay, sorry. Please make a correction in that. Okay. See, a reference point I have taken for the train example. I have taken the ground as the reference frame. Okay, the ground as a reference frame I had taken. That is why I'm finding the velocity of train with respect to ground, velocity of A with respect to ground, velocity of B with respect to ground. Okay, fine. So we have to take one frame, which should be common for all the observer. Here also, if you see that I have taken ground as a frame, which is common for A also and B also. Okay, that is what we are doing now. We are calculating the velocity acceleration of A with respect to B, but we have to take one stationary frame now, that is ground. Otherwise, how can we find the value of A with respect to B? Okay, fine. Now, next concept is the equation of motion for a constant acceleration in relative term. Okay, the equation of motion. One more example, see, wait, one more example I'll tell you. In this relative acceleration, just tell me one thing. We have a building like this. Okay, fine. We have one object A. I have dropped this object. Okay, drop means initial velocity 0 meter per second. Okay, after 2 seconds, A must be somewhere here. Okay, and at that time I am dropping B object. What is the relative acceleration between A and B? What is the relative acceleration between A and B? Can you tell me the answer for this? We have two objects. We have one of A. A we had dropped. After 2 seconds we drop B. Then what is the relative acceleration between A and B? 0 meter per second square. Very good. Why 0? Because the acceleration of A with respect to ground is how much? Minus 9.8 meter per second square. The acceleration of B with respect to ground is how much? Minus 9.8 meter per second square. So what is the acceleration of A with respect to B? That is minus 9.8 minus or minus 9.8 means 0 meter per second square. So when both the bodies have the same acceleration, the relative acceleration will be 0. So when the so one example one thing you can make a note that when the two bodies are in the under direction of gravity, then relative acceleration would be 0 between the two objects because both will have the same acceleration. That is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, fine. Now next is the equation of motion. The equation of motion for constant acceleration in relative terms. In relative term. Okay, equation of motion for constant acceleration in relative term. Okay, so first equation of motion is that the final velocity in relative term RDL that must be equal to initial velocity plus acceleration relative term into time t. Okay, that is the first equation of motion. Second, displacement in a relative term equal to initial velocity relative term into time t plus half into acceleration in relative term into t square, and the third is displacement in relative term equal to final velocity in relative term whole square minus initial velocity whole square by 2 into acceleration in relative term. That is the okay. So these are the three equations. Basically, what we have doing in the equation of motion of constant acceleration, we are replacing with relative term. Okay. Now, when this equation will be useful for us. These equations are useful when the two objects are moving. Means if the two objects are moving simultaneously at the same time, then we can use these equations of motion to get the answers. Okay. See, basically, this is what the equations of motion in relative term. Relative means with respect to something, with respect to the object. So these equations of motion can only be applied, will be applied when the two objects are moving together. Okay, like this example I have taken. A and B example that we are dropping the object A and dropping the object B after some time. What you will observe? You will observe that both both A and B are moving under the action of gravity. So when the two objects are moving at the same time, then we can use the equations of motion in relative terms to get the answer. Okay, it helps us to make the question simplify. Okay, it helps us to make the question simplify. Okay, wait, I'll give you the example, then you will understand it much better. Okay, fine. Like one example I'm giving you. Any doubt you tell me now. Any doubt you are having, you can tell me now. Okay, fine. Okay, one example I'm giving you. Okay, one question you can write here as. Okay, like let us suppose we have two cars. Okay, car A and car B. Excuse me. Car A and car B. Okay, car A. No, you don't need to derive this equation. Okay, car A, initial velocity of car A is 0 meter per second. The acceleration is 2 meter per second square. The distance between A and B is 100 meters. 100 meter. The acceleration, the initial velocity of B is 10 meter per second, and the acceleration of B is 1 meter per second square. Okay, that is the initial condition which is given to us. Okay, fine. What we need to find? We need to find the time. Find the time when A will catch B. Catch B means it will reach B. Okay. Find the time when A will reach B. Okay. Fine. The how we can use this? Now you can see that in this problem we have two objects, two cars which are moving. Means A is moving, B is also moving. So when the two objects are moving, we can use the equations of motion in terms of relative. Okay. Fine. So now we have to choose the observer. So which observer you want me to choose? A or B? Where should be the observer? A or B? Tell me. Okay, let us suppose. Tell which observer you want me to solve. A. Okay, fine. So let us take for A. Now let us suppose that observer is at A. Okay, here is the observer. Now you tell me one thing. What is the initial velocity of B with respect to A? Now this 0 meter per second and this 10 meter per second is the velocity with respect to ground or not? These are the velocity with respect to ground. Correct now? Is that correct or not? Yes. So can we directly write here as velocity of B minus velocity of A? That is how much? 10 minus 0 means 10 meter per second square. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now what is the acceleration of B with respect to A? B with respect to A. That is how much? 1 means the acceleration of B minus acceleration of A. That is how much? 1 minus 2 means minus 1 meter per second square. Correct now? Okay. This is the initial velocity I'm finding here. Okay. This is the relative acceleration. Now one thing tell me, if the observer is at A and this is the B car, okay, how much B should get displaced to reach A? See, if you are the observer at A, what you will feel? What you will feel? You want to catch B. When can you catch B? When the B moves towards you with the moves towards you and it reaches you, which means the displacement of B with respect to A must be equal to minus 100 meters. Did you understand why I put in minus 100 here? Why it is minus 100? Tell me. How much B should get displaced to reach A? Minus 100 only, na? Means this B should move in the negative direction of how much? Minus 100 to reach A. Yes or no? Yes. B displaced relatively backward. Yes, correct only. Okay. So SBA is equal to minus 100 meter. Okay. Fine. Now, now we can use the equation of motion relative term, which means what? The displacement of B with respect to A, displacement of B with respect to A must be equal to initial velocity of B with respect to A into time t plus half into acceleration of B with respect to A into time t whole square. That is equal to how much? Minus 100 equal to 10t plus half into 1 into t square. Okay, it should be minus, not plus. It should be minus there. Okay, it will come as minus here. It should be plus half minus 1 into t square. Okay, so this will come as minus 100 equal to 10t minus t square by 2. Take the LCM here. So we get what? T square minus 20t minus 100 is equal to minus 200 equal to 0. So this is the equation of time. So if we solve this, we'll get the value of time t. That will come as approximately 28 seconds. Okay, that will come as approximately 28 seconds. Okay, fine. This is the way of doing the problem in the terms of relative quantity. Okay, I hope you understand this. Yes or no? Can you do by conventional method? Can we do by conventional method? No, no. My screen is sharing or not? Is my screen visible to you? Okay, it is visible. Okay, see, displacement is minus 100 meter. Why? For observer A, how much B should get displaced to reach A? Minus 100 na? Minus 100 na? So, it should be minus 100 here. If you observe for B, means if the observer is at B, then displacement would have been plus 100. Okay, fine. So now we can do in conventional method. Conventional method, that what we are doing. Okay. See, in conventional method, if you look at the conditions here, that A initial velocity is 0 meter per second, acceleration is 2 meter per second square, B is 10 meter per second, 10 na, and A is how much? A is how much? 1 meter per second square. Initial separation is 100 meter. That was the initial condition. Now if I write this, that displacement of A should be equal to displacement of B plus 100 meter In some time t, the displacement of A must be equal to displacement of B plus 100 meter. Is this equation correct or not? Tell me. The displacement of A should be equal to displacement of B plus 100 meters. Yes, see, in some time t, this B would have traveled some distance. Okay, that is SB. So if A has to catch B, what it has to do? It has to cover a distance of 100 meter plus the displacement of B. Then only it can catch B. Okay. So this equation I can write in the ground frame. In the ground frame I'm writing. Then in the ground frame, in some time t, this B has displaced by SB distance. A should displace by 100 plus SB distance to catch B. This in the ground frame. Okay. So what is the SA? SA will be equal to UT plus half AT square, which is what? 0, because it is initial velocity 0. Half into 2 into T square must be equal to displacement of B, that is 10 into T plus half into 1 into T square plus 100. Okay, so this will come as T square minus T square by 2 equal to 10T plus 200. So if you solve, you'll get T square equal to 20T plus 200. So you can see that in both the equation, in both the method, we are getting the same equation. That is T square minus 20T minus 200. Here also T square plus 20T equal to 200. Okay. So we can see that this particular problem can be done by two frames. One is from the ground frame, other is from the relative frame. Relative frame means A frame. Here we are doing the problem with the help of A frame. A frame. I hope you understand both the examples, both the methods. You can do by either method. You can either do by ground method or you can do by the car A method. Okay, both are correct only. Fine. Whatever you feel convenient, you can do that. Okay. I hope you understood the relative velocity, how we are using this relative velocity. Fine. Any doubt? Okay. So let us discuss NCRT problems. Which problem you have doubt? Tell me. From NCRT, what all homework I have given to you? Which problem you have doubt? Tell. 3.9 and 3.12. Okay. So 3.9, I think this is the problem, na? See, 3.9, I think you can do now because relative velocity question I have done today only. So you can do 3.9. Okay, fine. So 3.9 you can do. 3.12. Okay, 3.12 I will do. Wait. So question number, see 3. What problem you told me? 3.9. This is a relative velocity concept you can do now. 3.12 I will do. Okay. 3.12. Okay. NCRT 3.12. The question is, a ball is dropped from a height of 90 meters on a floor. A ball is dropped from a height of 90 meters on a floor. At each collision, the ball loses one-tenth of the speed. Means when it collides, it loses one-tenth of the speed. Plot the speed time graph of its motion between 0 to 12 seconds. Okay, so first of all, that is the problem. You have to draw the speed time graph. Okay, we have to draw the speed time graph in this case. Okay, now can you tell me what is the time taken by the ball to reach the ground for the first time? Time taken for ball to reach ground. How much is the time? Tell me. Initial velocity should be 0 because it has been dropped. So can we write here as what? if you take ground as the origin, where we have to take the origin? We can take origin anywhere. It's better we take the origin at the point A itself, or ground. We can take ground itself. Ground is the point where it is colliding. We have taken this as origin. So what is the displacement of A? 90 meter plus 90 equal to ut minus half gt square. No, minus 90 equal to ut, which is 0, minus half into 10 into t square. Okay, so it should be how much? It should be how much? It should come as, I think, 90 into 2 by 10 equal to t square, means 18 is equal to t square. So I think time should come approximately as 4.3 seconds. So in the 4.3 second, it will reaches the ground. So if you draw the if we draw the graph here, okay. So we have to draw the graph between speed and time. Okay, just wait. Okay, so we have to draw the graph between speed and time. Okay, fine. So from 0 to 4.3 seconds, from 0, this is a 0, and 4.3 seconds, its speed is increasing. Okay, now this is the constant acceleration type graph. Okay, so it would be a straight line, correct? When it reaches the ground for the first time, it would be a straight line. Okay, fine, up to 4.3 seconds, up to 4.3 seconds. And what is the speed when it reaches the ground? What is the speed when it reaches the ground? The speed will be equal to u minus gt, which is how much? Velocity will be u minus gt, that is how much? V equal to 0 minus 10 into 4.3, means 43 meter per second. Minus 43 meter per second is the velocity, but speed will be equal to how much? The magnitude of the velocity, that is 43 meter per second, correct now? So when it reaches 4.3 second, when it reaches ground, its speed is how much? 43.43 meter per second. Okay, this is the path of the object when it hits the ground for the first time. Now when it hits the ground, it loses 1/10 of the speed, means when it will rebounces. Okay, so when the ball rebounces, when ball rebounces, what is the speed of the rebouncing? It loses how much? 10% of the speed, which means now the velocity will be how much? 0.9 times of 43 meter per second, correct now? 1/10 of the speed is losing. So how much speed is there after collision? That is 0.9. Okay, which means it will come around 38.7 meter per second. Okay, so if you plot the graph here, at 4.3 second when it collides, okay, its speed reduces to how much? Its speed reduces to 38.7 meter per second. Okay, at the same instant only, its speed changes to 38.7 meter per second. So this is the graph. Then what will happen? Then the body will now, after collision, the speed becomes how much? 38.7 meter per second. Now it will go to the maximum height where its velocity becomes 0. So how much time is taken for the maximum height? That is 0 equal to 38.7 minus 10 into t. So t will be equal to how much? 3.87 seconds. Okay, or we can approximately take as 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, it will reach the maximum height. 4 seconds from which point? When it is rebouncing. Okay, so 4 seconds we can add here. That would be how much? 8.3 seconds. Up to 8.3 seconds, its velocity is decreasing and it becomes zero at the highest point. Fine. Then, then what will happen? Then again, this ball will come down. Okay. Then how much time it should take to reach the ground? That would be again 4 seconds because time of ascent and time of descent are same. Time of ascent and descent is same. Okay. Which means after 4 seconds, it will reach the ground. While reaching the ground, its speed remains 38.7 meter per second. Okay, so fine. Okay, up to what we have to draw the graph? Up to 12 seconds we have to draw the graph. See, this is the graph. Fine. And after this, its speed will again reduce and it will again comes to zero. Okay. Did you understand this graph or not? Are you getting this or just simply tell me? Is that correct graph? Okay. I hope you understand. Okay, very good. So this is the graph. Fine. Uh, I think you have asked me, na, Kavin 3. I cannot pronounce your name. You have asked me this problem. I think you understood this problem or not. Okay, fine. Any other doubt in NCRT? Okay, I think somebody else was asking the some problem. 3.19 somebody has asked me. Explain again. See, wait. See, again I will explain. Just listen here. See, question if you read that from 90 meter we have dropped the ball. Okay, from 90-meter height we have dropped the ball with initial velocity 0 meter per second. You have to plot the speed versus time graph for 12 seconds. Okay, but one condition is there that when this ball will strike ground, it 10 hits the ground, it loses 1/10 of the speed. Okay. Now the ball is 1 point. Can be the time taken by the ball to reach the ground. Okay. To the time taken by the ball to reach the ground, we can use the equation of motion that is s equal to ut plus half at square. Okay, s equal to ut plus half at square. So s is minus 90 equal to minus half into 10 into t square. So we get time equal to 4.3 seconds. So in 4.3 seconds, this this ball has reached the ground. Okay. So when it reaches the ground, what is the velocity? That is 43 meter per second. We can find the velocity with the help of the equation v equal to u plus gt. So when it reaches the ground for the first time, its speed is how much? 43 meter per second. Time taken is how much? 4.3 seconds. So if you draw the graph would be a straight line graph because speed versus time graph I am drawing. So it would be a straight line graph. Okay. At 4.3 seconds, its velocity is 43 meter per second. Fine. Now when it hits the ground, it loses 1/10 of the speed, which means the remaining speed would be zero point 0.9. Okay, zero point 0.9 into 43. So 38.7. Okay. So you can see that at the same instant 4.3 speed reduces from 43 to 38.7. Then it will decrease, become 0 at 8.3. Then again speed will increase to 38.7 meter. Okay. Fine. Okay. Any other problem in NCRT? Somebody asked me 3.19, I think. Can you confirm it? There are no other doubt in NCRT. Okay, so I think there is no other doubt in NCRT. Fine. 3.10. 3.10. Okay. 3.10. I think this type of problem we have already done that our our player throws a ball upward with initial speed of 29.4. Okay. What is the direction of acceleration during upward motion? So direction will be negative. Okay. Because acceleration due to gravity is always towards the ground. So it should be negative direction. What are the velocity and acceleration of the ball at the highest point? At the highest point, velocity will be zero, acceleration will be negative. Okay, because acceleration is g only. Okay, if you choose x equal to 0 at time t equal 0, 0, be the location and time of the ball at the highest point, vertically downward to be positive of x, give the sign of position, velocity, and acceleration during the upward motion and downward motion. I think this type of problem we have already done. Okay, so it is not a very difficult problem. Okay, 3.14. Okay, 3.14. A man walks on a straight road from a market 2.5 meter 2.5 kilometer away from with a speed of 5 kilometer per hour. Finding the market closed, he instantly turned and walked back at a speed of 7.5 kilometer per hour. What is the magnitude of the average speed? Okay, so I think this problem is also very easy problem. So this is the home market. Okay, so it goes from home to market at a speed of 5 kilometer per hour and returns back at a speed of 7.5 kilometer per hour. Distance between home and market is how much? 2.5 kilometer away. You have to find the average speed, average velocity for first 0 to 30 minutes. Okay, so can you find the time taken from home to market? So time from home, time taken from home to market is equal to how much? Distance by speed. So distance is 2.5, speed is 5 kilometer per hour, which will come as half hours or 30 minutes. So it take 30 minutes to reach the market. Okay, fine. So average speed will be equal to how much? Average speed is distance by time. Distance is 2.5, time is half hours, means 30 kilometer, sorry, 5 kilometer per hour. Average speed. Average velocity in this case, same, distance is 2.5, displacement is 2.5, time is half hours, it will come as 5 kilometer per hour. Okay, similarly we can find for 0 to 35 minutes, 45 minutes and then 50 minutes. So we can solve the problem. Okay, simply you need to find the time taken, then the position of the object, you can find the average speed and average velocity. Okay, fine. Any other problem? Okay. You can write my phone number. If you have doubt, you can ask me. I will try to send you the answer. Okay, fine. And one thing more, you should means it should not be like you should be patient. Okay, it should not be like that. You send me the question and instantly I will solve the problem. No, it would take some time. Okay. Okay. Now you can make a note of the homework. Okay. So this homework is of relative velocity. Okay. See, both these all five question I can do with the help of conventional method also and relative velocity also. But you try to do with the relative velocity. Correct? Fine. Please make a note of the homework. And this week you have the weekly test of kinematics 1D. Okay. So I have explained you all the problems, relative velocity graph, everything I have explained to you. Okay. Fine. So I think we started from, I think this was the first slide we were discussing. First slide, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. See, worksheets are there. You have to solve all the worksheet. Okay. More you practice, more better you will have understanding of the concepts. Okay. So my suggestion is that whatever worksheet Nality is given to you, NCRT book, then Seeker's material. Okay, you need to solve all the problems. Okay, fine. More you practice, more better you will get. Okay, fine. So whatever is given to you, you have to do it. Okay. Any other doubt you are having? Okay. One thing more, that the question paper discussion. See, if you have a doubt in question paper, you need to send me the snapshot or some photo of that question. Okay, we'll discuss in the Monday class. Fine. Okay, because I don't have the question there, so you have to send me the question. Okay, so send me the question. I will try to solve in the class, or I will send you the photo of the solution. Okay, fine. Okay, so this chapter is over. Fine. Now, next chapter will be motion in two dimension. Number I think I gave to you. This is the number 9467 608 237. Okay, fine. So if you have problem, you can message me. I'll solve. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you all.